Howdy. All of you in this room, I would like to imagine that you're all waiting here just to listen to me because I'm the last speaker. So I just like to think that you're all here to listen to me. Now let me take you back to a time. Do you remember the cell phones that had keys on them? Do you remember how you can text with those cell phones where you have to keep pressing the buttons till you get your letter? If I were to type LOL, I would have to press 555 666 555. Lol. Then came the iPhones. I was 9 years old when iPhones first came in the market, and I always craved for an iPhone. It was fascinating. It was touchscreen, it had no keys, high quality camera, and it had a bitten apple on its back. I wish I had an iPhone. And 9 years later, when I started my university at TEDxTAMUQatar and at Education City, I see almost everyone over here owns an iPhone. And by seeing that, my cravings for iPhone just keeps increasing. And that makes me look into my Lenovo, and always I feel like I wish I had an iPhone with a bitten apple on its back. One day, a friend comes to me and asks, "Hey, you have a charger? My phone is dying." I say, "Yeah, but it's in my bag at the first floor." And then he says, "Please, my phone is dying, I need a charger." And then I was like, okay, because I'm such a people pleaser, I go down to the first floor, I take the bag, and I go in front of the elevator to go to the third floor. Now people at TEDxTAMUQatar back me up. When I take the elevator at the first floor to go to the third floor, the elevator magically goes down to the basement. The door opens, there's no one. And then, when I go up, the lift stops at the first floor, right where I entered. And the person who enters gives me this look, "What were you doing in the basement?" And then, the lift stops at the second floor. Someone gets in. Looks like everyone wants to go up at the same time as I want to. And then finally, I reached the third floor. I went through all the floors of the building just to give the charger to my friend. Here it is. "Oh, no, not this one. I want an iPhone charger." Why didn't you tell me before?" "Oh, don't you have an iPhone?" Then I wish I had an iPhone with a bitten apple on its back. Did you ever want something in your life that you could never have, but your friend or your neighbor or people around you have it all the time? Did it make you unhappy? Now, I was not unhappy, but I was unsatisfied. I felt I was missing something. And then I realized that I learned a lesson of gratefulness. Everyone tells you to be grateful, but it's not easy. It's much easier to look at people who have things that you do not have. It's much easier to complain. And only when you look at your life from another side that you learn how to be grateful. And today I'm here to share with you my journey of how I reached the other side. Last summer, I was among the group that traveled to Chiang Mai, Thailand for a service learning experience. In the course of the trip, we built a house for a paralyzed man in a local village. We built wheelchairs for a local hospital, and we also painted the walls of a local school. Now, the school had one small playground, just two or three classrooms, and one small computer lab. Surprisingly, the school had lots of cute, happy, and ambitious children. And in the trip, our biggest accomplishment, I felt, was that we completed building a house. I was so proud of myself, and I was proud of our entire group. But then, our tour guide revealed to us that there are more than 100 families in the village who are homeless. I was stunned. Suddenly, all those accomplishments seemed nothing to me. I had no more strength in me to build another house. I wish I had some sort of superpowers that could magically build houses for all of those families. But then what? What about the other millions of people who are homeless? What about them? What can I possibly do? Nothing. I can do nothing. And I felt the least I could do is to feel grateful about them, is to feel grateful about my life, my situation, my shelter, my education, my parents. And seeing those children happy in their little schools, that makes me feel like I have no right to complain about my situation. And that sense of gratitude makes me look into my phone like a blessing, and never did I crave for an iPhone again. By the way, this is a good phone. But then phones in general are a privileged example. Let us talk about something very basic, something that I like to call small blessings. And I call them small blessings because we do not understand their worth. We always take those things for granted, and we understand their worth only in the hard way. So one morning, I wake up to brush my teeth. So I entered the bathroom, I opened the tap, and there dripped only a few drops of water. Turns out that the plumbing system of our building was damaged, and we did not have water for 2 days. And our only source of water for those 2 days was my neighbor who lived across the street. So I carry my bucket, I walk across the street, I climb the stairs of my neighbor's house, and I reach there. Easy. I fill the bucket, and then I take the bucket back to my house. But actually, after filling the bucket, I could not carry the bucket with one hand. I had to use both my hands because I didn't go to gym. And then I had to climb down the stairs and walk across the road, and then climb 2 stairs of my building. And finally, I reached my apartment. That had taken all my strength. And all those times, I could only think about the people who walk kilometers of path to fetch water. I was always taught about the importance of water in my schools, how water is important, how much water you need in life. But only when I was deprived of water did I understand its worth. Unfortunately, life moves so fast that we don't have the time to contemplate about these blessings that we have in our life. Do you ever consciously think about the fact that you have access to clean water? I never did. But only when I was deprived of it that I understood its worth. When we take the time to pause and contemplate the blessings of our lives, do we truly learn how to get happiness out of being gratefulness? And I'm glad that I had the chance to pause and contemplate about the blessings of my life. And this is where I'm going to talk to you about my visit to a cave back in Thailand. Now, caves, I always imagined caves to be like those in Batman. I thought I could walk into a cave, bats would fly around, and I could see amazing things. But in reality, I had to crawl through the caves. And then it was dark. I took my flashlight, and then I was looking for bats. And then I pointed it up, and I saw lots of bats at the top. And they were doing nothing. I thought I would take the flashlights and move it around, hoping that they would do something. But the bats didn't impress me. And then my friend reminded me that bats are actually blind. Then the cave's surfaces are actually rugged. We walked over rocks, we crawled through narrow paths, we saw deadly insects, and finally we came by a canal where water was flowing undisturbed. Our tour guide asked us to switch off our flashlights and stay quiet for a while, just so we could appreciate the blessings of our eyes. So all 13 of us, we switched off our flashlights. It was pitch black. It was dark. It was so horrific that I closed my eyes to escape the fear of darkness. And believe me, closing my eyes was less dark than keeping them open. And now I could enjoy the quietness. With quietness, I could enjoy the soothing sound of water flowing, calm, gentle, smooth. And now I took the time to understand and appreciate all the blessings of my life. Just like the water was flowing through the canal, all the good blessings of my life came into my mind. And I took this time to appreciate all the good things about my life. I felt thankful that I woke up healthy. I felt thankful that I have clothes to wear and shelter to rest under. I felt thankful that I have parents who have raised me to what I am today. And finally, I felt thankful to God. Our tour guide asked us to switch on our flashlights. I opened my eyes and I felt calm. I felt peaceful and I felt happy. And then while we were walking away from the cave, I bumped my head against a wall because I forgot to turn on my flashlight, for which I was not very thankful. But unfortunately, life moves so fast, and life is very hard. We rarely have time to pause our life and appreciate the blessings that we have. I'm an engineering student, and I have so much work to do. I have 2 midterms next week, one on Monday, and I have a report due on Tuesday, and before which I have not even started. I don't even have the time to prepare for a TED Talk. But now, I don't need to go back to a cave to feel grateful about my life. What I do, and that I do it every day, is before sleeping, I recite the prayer or the dua, thanking God that I have made it safely through the day. And while I wake up, I recite the prayer of waking up and just to bless me with a new day. You can do something else. You can do something as big as going to the cave, or you could just stay at your home, pause, appreciate, look around, and feel the gratitude. And that's why I would like you all to leave with a challenge. You cannot smile and breathe at the same time. Everyone's smiling. Are you sure you're breathing? I lied. You can do both at the same time. I just wanted you all to smile and appreciate the gathering over here that is immersed in inspiration, motivation, knowledge, and gratitude. I hope you will find some ways of pausing your life, appreciating, and feel the gratitude. Thanks and Gigam.